Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly for pricing. My email is tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing the Panerai Luminor Submersible GMT Navy Seals. This is the PAM01323 in steel, and it was a 2022 model year launch, a limited edition of 500 pieces. Of course, it is inspired by the legendary U.S. Navy SEALs, the All-Terrain Elite Combat Squad. Sea, air, and land, hence SEALs. Now, the 44 millimeters in diameter, the watch is 14.7 millimeters thick, and we are 54.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a 24 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The timepiece is large, but that's no deterrence to Panerai fans who've gotten used to the idea that the watches are physically large but wear small. They're always very comfortable, cushion cased in profile. It's not really a round watch, even though it has a round bezel and dial, and it wears more or less square, so 44 by 44. It's an easy watch to wear on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, but the lugs do push right out to the edge, so you have to be comfortable with the idea that oversized is the look, and it's never going to look precisely proportional unless you have a truly large wrist. So I think you could wear it on a wrist of my size or larger, that's 16 centimeters circumference and up. Taking a quick look at the strap, it's one of two included with the watch. This is actually designed to mimic the Navy's new working uniform, or digicamis. I don't know if they still call them the new working uniform. It's a long time since I've been in the service. Maybe they're just the working uniform now. Nevertheless, this is something that Navy personnel do actually wear. The rest of the strap is composed of thick vulcanized rubber, so it looks like it should last a lifetime. This is a particularly durable strap. There's also a second strap that comes with the watch that is purely rubber. So you have this textile on the top and rubber on the bottom here. You can see there's a quick release system using Panerai's included tools that come with the watch. You can release the bar that retains the strap, then quickly swap out to another strap. We also have a screw-fixed bar that secures the buckle to the strap itself. Taking a quick look at the buckle, it's simple, trapezoidal, satinated, a lot like the case. The case is relatively simple. It's a 1950 style case, which is Panerai's way of saying it's the one that's a little bit more true to history than the 1990s Betterini case, which was the first Luminor that we knew. So the timepiece does include a full satin case profile, with the only real polish being a few components on the device protecting the crown and then the edge of the bezel itself. Now, the timepiece features that device protecting the crown, which was originally developed during the 40s and deployed during the 50s as a solution to the problem of wearing out crown and stem seals back in the era when Rolex built the watches and these were all oyster cased. Well, the Rolex system worked well for water resistance, but Rolex watches also generally were automatic winding, whereas the Panerai Combat watches were not. So threading the crown in and out several times a week to wind the watch would wear out those seals. So Panerai's solution was a system that would simply compress the seals and decompress the seals. So there's no threading, there's no in and there's out. The second you pop the lever open, it's possible to wind the watch and it's possible to set the watch. Moreover, you have all aspect protection, so even a perpendicular hit is not going to damage the crown the way it would with conventional shouldered crown guards. And as I always like to say, you just need that much information to know what brand and model we're looking at. That's how iconic this device protecting the crown is. Plus, because you can unlock your crown even when your hands are wet, sweaty, or gloved, and then manipulate the watch, this is a lot more practical than tight shouldered crown guards on a screw-down crown, which can sometimes be inextricable when your hands are wet. Taking a quick look on the dial, we have a few subsidiary setting modes. Taking a quick look, you can see everything can set in sync. So that is how you set the time in coordinated fashion. Take note, this watch does not include hacking seconds. And then there is an intermediate position in which you can set the secondary time zone, and then by turning in the opposite direction, you can operate the quick set. So basically, it works like a ETA 2893 or 2836, where you have both a true quickset and then a secondary time zone. Take note that it is a 12-hour secondary time zone, so while the watch can display 2 time zones, it cannot distinguish between AM and PM. Now, other elements going on here include a 300-meter water resistance and a particularly chunky and satisfying 60-click bezel. You can see that it features riders that are raised in high polish, and the knurling is sharp and relatively narrowly spaced. It makes for an excellent grip. Also, Panerai Submersible bezel feel is among the best in the business. We have all applied indices. We have a couple of different colors. We have white, we have black, we have gradient gray, and then signal yellow. This is a tribute to the Navy SEALs. We have a crosshair style motif on the small seconds over at 9 o'clock. We have a yellow on black date disc, and you can see there's a little bit of a yellow bordering inside the skeletonized hour and minute hands. We'll do a quick Lume shot so you can see how the watch looks in the dark. And you'll note that the bezel pearl and the minute hand are both differentially colored blue, so you can quickly distinguish them from the rest of the dial and gauge elapsed time in the dark. You can also see that really all of the hands on the watch are lumed, so the Luminor living up to its reputation. You can see it does say Navy SEALs on the base of the dial, and since 1962, the Navy SEALs represent possibly the world's most famous elite special forces unit. The timepiece does feature the United States Navy SEALs warfare device on the back. When you qualify as a Navy SEAL, you get to wear this badass logo. It's like they just said, let's combine all the craziest stuff. Let's have an eagle and an anchor and a trident and a gun. And it's got all those things. You can also see it has an American flag motif in the background. Limited edition, 500 pieces. You can see Y series. Inside, there is a Valfleurier designed movement doing business as Panerai caliber P900. Valfleurier is a Richemont company that designs movements for Richemont firms that need supplemental movement development assistance or which may not be traditional movement manufacturers. But it's a useful movement. Although it does lack hacking, it has automatic winding, 72-hour power reserve, it has the dual time capability, it has the quick set for the date, beats away at 4 hertz or 8 beats per second, and it pivots away on 23 joules, and it is quite tough and reliable. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this U.S. Navy SEALs inspired Panerai Luminor Submersible GMT.